Thanks for tuning in to Red Belt Radio. The following episode is scheduled for one fall. I'm Jason, and this show is dedicated to World Wonder Ring Stardom. Today I'm covering the recent crazed betrayal at Korakuen Hall, which sent one Stardom faction into a state of shock and left another in a state of confusion. On April 2nd, 2025, Neo Genesis went to battle with H.A.T.E, and the finale of this match involved one of the more unique backstabs we have seen in a while. This transmission will obviously contain spoilers for Stardom's April 2nd Korakuen show. We need to take a look at why this Neo Genesis double cross happened in the first place and what it means for Stardom moving forward. If you find these transmissions valuable, please give this a like, subscribe to the channel, or leave a comment to let me know what you think. The match in question involved Suzuki, Seira, Azumi, and Miyu Amasaki of Neo Genesis, and their opponents Saya Kamitani, Natsuko Tora, Ruaka, and Azusa Inaba of H.A.T.E. These are Stardom's two most modern factions, with both groups coming into existence on the same weekend in July of 2024. It should be noted that both Neo Genesis and H.A.T.E have been on fast-moving trajectories, with 2 red belt reigns taking place within H.A.T.E and many titles getting scooped up by Neo Genesis. Less than 1 year into their formation, Neo Genesis is now on the receiving end of their first crushing betrayal. Also of note is the fact that this match took place exactly 2 months after Suzuki's Red Belt challenge against Saya Kamitani, also at Korakuen Hall. We will come back to this in a moment, but don't overlook Saya as a key player in this overall story. I'm trying to figure out how to best explain this chain of events, and I think we should just go all the way back to the genesis of Neo Genesis. Neo Genesis officially made its debut on July 27th, 2024, with Starlight Kid having previously been exiled from H.A.T.E, Azumi and Miyu Amasaki previously exiled from Queen's Quest, and the duo known as Crazy Star, Suzuki, and Seira having no previous affiliation at all. The debut of Neo Genesis was exciting, stylish, but from the very start, the group's bright colors, bubbly poses, electronic music, and positive attitude did not seem to match Suzuki's original character. Suzu was more extreme than that, more metal. She was into grudge matches, hardcore matches, death matches. Her colors were red and black. Her materials were leather and chrome. And everyone noticed this disparity from the start. Things got even worse as the other members of Neo Genesis began accumulating championships. First Seira with the high-speed title. Eventually Starlight Kid with the Wonder of Stardom title. And then Kid, Azumi, and Miyu Amasaki with the Artist of Stardom titles. These belts are all still around the waists of Neo Genesis, and Suzu remains uncrowned, thus standing out from her peers even more. Suzu's defeat at the hands of Saya Kamitani was in actuality a turning point. The February 2nd match at Korakuen Hall taught Suzu a valuable lesson: that she should not deny who she truly is deep down inside. Suzu is wild. Suzu is violent. Suzu is not a benevolent person. After the match was over, Suzu thanked Saya Kamitani for teaching her this lesson, because only someone like Saya could remind her to embrace the impulse to truly go crazy. In some sense, Saya Kamitani served as the key to all of this, serving as a treacherous example to Suzuki, letting Suzu know that perhaps betrayal itself could serve as the path to true freedom. It had worked out for Saya after all. Tensions within Neo Genesis reached an all-time high as several instances of miscommunication and many costly mistakes started resulting in match losses. The Crazy Star team of Suzuki and Seira could not find their former group magic. More recently, Suzu and Mei seemed to be picking up the pieces of their cracked friendship. But even as they were saying that things would be all right, something was still not quite right. Suzu was acting strangely. Her optimism for the group's future rang false. Whenever she would smile, Something behind that smile was being hidden, and Seira did not seem convinced. She just seemed sad, withdrawn. Honestly, this faction intrigue has created some of Stardom's best current storytelling, and Suzuki is arguably the most interesting she's been since she was chasing down Julia for revenge in 2022 and 2023. Which brings us to current events. Caraccoin Hall, April 2nd. The match between Neo Genesis and H.A.T.E was reaching its heightened finale, with Suzuki and Natsuko Tora as the legal participants just before everything went nuts. After seeing that Seira had accidentally landed a head kick on Suzu, Natsuko Tora of H.A.T.E offered Suzu a chance at payback. She tossed a steel chair to Suzuki, who decided to shock all of Korakuen Hall by striking Seira on the top of the skull, breaking Seira's heart and breaking her bond with Neo Genesis. This was surprising enough, since the typical Stardom cliche is for a wrestler to lift up a steel chair before spinning around and striking some secondary target as a form of a plot twist. Equally surprising was Suzu's ultimate decision to then suplex Natsuko Tora, turning the entire match into a brawl, with Suzu fighting both Neo Genesis and H.A.T.E and ultimately swearing allegiance to herself alone. The match was ruled a no contest, but the damage had been deeply inflicted, and this story is sure to continue. Suzuki's connection to Neo Genesis has been severed, and what becomes of Suzu, Seira, and everyone in between is yet to be seen. What other chaos do you think Suzuki will inflict upon the factions of Stardom? Do you expect her to form her own unit or return to the unaffiliated status she previously held? Who, if anyone, do you think will come to the aid of Neo Genesis? And what emotions are you feeling for the victims of this bizarre outburst? If you found this transmission valuable, please give it a like, subscribe to the channel, or leave a comment to let me know what you think. Thanks for listening to Red Belt Radio.